Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time to another daily stimulus package update, fourth stimulus check update, daily news, and stock market update. It's November 15th, 2021. I'm going to cover what's going on and what's happening this week, what you can expect in the coming week. There's so much going on right now. We're very exciting stuff. I'll also be talking about what's going down today. So much is happening. We got great news happening today, and we got all kinds of stuff that's happening throughout the rest of this week. We should have a bill passed this week, plus one signed today. So here's what we're going to cover today. Lots of checks to cover, a $500 check, an $1,100 check, both going out today. $1,800. We're going to go show you how to get that, a portal you need to go into. In fact, there's a deadline that if you don't do it by tonight, you could miss out on the payment. A $3,600 payment that's going out, $300, and a $250 check coming out today. I don't know exactly how many checks are going out today, but it's a crazy number. Today, November 15th, plus a lot happening, so we got to cover so much here today. Possibly another 750,000 new stimulus checks to go out today. We're getting $1,100. Also, we got to talk about Biden's infrastructure bill and what's going on in Congress. Huge changes coming this week for the stimulus and infrastructure bill, as well as an autograph on the bill, so it'll be completely passed. Guys, it really is happening. Finally, it is happening. This week, the House aims to pass Biden's Senate bill, the spending bill, quote, as time runs out, end quote. The House is facing the end of the year, which is barreling towards us, and we're talking where it's fast action on these social and climate bills has to happen soon because we got the holidays coming, right? It is Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we know how our government likes to enjoy those holidays. This is the second and biggest of Biden's two infrastructure bills. The first one was roads and bridges are structural. This one is stimulus and climate change, which stimulus and climate change. So money and fix the planet. Good stuff, right? The House and the Senate are both back in office this week, another week, 1 week Veterans Day vacation with even more holiday vacations coming up. Think about it. Thanksgiving's coming. Christmas is coming. That's why they've got to rush and get these big things passed as soon and pushed through and squared away as quick as possible. According to The Hill, quote, the House expects consideration of the Build Back Better bill this week comes from Democrats. Punted their plan basically to hold a vote before the Veterans Day recess. As moderates push for more information from the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, end quote. Right now, we're waiting on the CBO to release a full analysis of the Build Back Better bill, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she requires additional information on the bill by Monday, which is today. So we're squaring up all the money so that we can put this to pass for a vote and then, of course, ink it, hopefully before the holidays this week, possibly. No word from the CBO just yet on when the full analysis of the bill will be completed. So we're waiting on that. And moderate Democrats like Sinema and also Manchin, who stopped a lot of stuff but is now letting things go through, are saying they need to see the analysts before they the analysis of the money before they move forward on the vote. In fact, part of the agreement made by progressives and moderates, the two of them working together, is that they will vote on this bill before their next week-long break. So that means this week, folks, 5 of those moderate Democrats have pledged to vote for the bill. Quote, in its current form, other than technical changes as expeditiously as we receive fiscal information from the Congressional Budget Office consisting with the top lines, end quote. So basically they're saying if it goes in the same form that it is, we're good with it. Change a couple words, change an is, a to, a that, no problem, as long as we can afford it. In the same breath, they said that the vote would take place, quote, in no event later than the week of November 15th, end quote. So they said this is on record. So yeah, the big change is this week, guys. A huge bill that's supposed to be passed this week. So we'll see what happens if these moderate Democrats and also the progressive Democrats can put it together. We're not hearing much from the Republicans. They don't really need them. In other great news today, November 15th, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed into law the Senate Bill 8, which allocates almost $16 billion in federal funding awarded to the state. These funds will be used for a variety of programs and could mean coronavirus checks for people in the great state of Texas. For example, Denton Irvine District in Texas recently approved spending and sending out $500 checks in retention bonuses. Abbott signed the stimulus bill earmarked funds from the American Rescue Plan Act that Joe Biden signed into law, right? These funds were allocated to help Texans with its fiscal recovery. Now, Abbott said in a quote, Senate Bill 8 allocates federal funding to support Texans in need, including our veterans, rural communities, small businesses, and our frontline workers, end quote. Senate Bill 8 distributes the funds on several different programs, including infrastructure, unemployment, tourism, and hospitals, and more. Unemployment's actually pretty cool. Many of these programs could directly benefit residents, possibly including coronavirus stimulus checks for Texans, because now the money's been earmarked in accounts, and now the local cities and local places can decide where they want to spend that money. The bill allocates $7.2 billion to unemployment compensation fund. Yes, $7.2 billion to unemployment, $150 million towards betterment of the state's 911 service, and $180 million for the recovery of tourism, travel, and also hospitality. Further, the bill allocates about $500 million for broadband infrastructure and $160 million to meet the VOCA, Victims of Crime Act, shortfall. So they're going to cover that where they've been deficient. Senate Bill 8 also sets aside funds for hospitals, including $75 million for rural hospitals affected by Corona-19 and the onslaught of the viruses. So to rebuild those places. The bill also allocates $2 billion to state and local hospitals for antibody therapy drugs operating in the region, those antibody infusion centers and staffing. Yeah, where people have gotten the antibodies injected in them, right? So that they can fight the virus. It also sets aside $113 million to support mental health services for Texas children and families. For frontline workers, the bill allocates $378.3 million towards staffing requirements. The money will specifically go towards recruitment, retention, bonuses, the nursing facility, and emergency medical service providers. So that's directly to those sources, right? So that's money that'll go in people's pockets. Separately, the bill also allocates $35 billion to upgrade all 9 Texas state veterans' homes. So good news for veterans, isolation rooms for the COVID-19 wards, and HEPA filters. Yep, those high-efficiency particle air machines that take out, hopefully, the virus in homes. The bill also allocates $95 million to food banks, and the Senate Bill 8 has been so long overdue. We covered this back in May. Abbott told lawmakers that, May of this year, Abbott told lawmakers that they would call on a special session in the fall to allocate the federal funds. Lots of states have to get this money out as quick as possible so they don't lose the funds. At this point, to note, the Senate Bill 8 is not the only stimulus check. Obviously, Deaton is also getting checks. For instance, there's several states which we cover on this channel. Another one is California, sending out those Golden State Stimulus 2 programs, which we're covering. So great news for my viewers in Texas. Congratulations, you got a lot of money coming and possibly a check that could come your way, and also that $500 retention check. Another 750,000 new stimulus checks are going out today. Will you be one that gets the $1,100? This is great news for 750,000 people that are getting those new stimulus checks. Today's batch of paper checks are going out in the mail, meaning it could take a few weeks for you to get it. It also follows 34,000 direct deposits being issued in California on Friday, November 12th, which means you probably have your money in your account today. In total, the latest paper checks and direct deposits are worth nearly $555 million. The California Franchise Tax Board expects to issue around 9 million payments under the Golden State Stimulus 2. Ahead of Friday, 565 million stimulus checks had been paid out, leaving about 335 million yet to be issued. The GS2 is what they're calling it. Checks will be paid out roughly every 2 weeks until every eligible Californian has received one. California plans to issue most checks by the end of the year, with the majority of the direct deposits having been made by the end of October. The checks are worth between $600 to $1,100 and are sent to those earning less than $75,000 a year. Meanwhile, those who were eligible for the state's first stimulus program may get an additional $500. So who qualifies for this stimulus check? To qualify for GS2 stimulus checks, the following must apply to you. You must have filed a 2020 tax return for October 15, 2021, have a California adjusted gross income, a CAIG, adjusted gross income, of $1 to $75,000 for the tax year 2020. Have wages of $0 to $75,000 for 2020 tax year. Be a California resident for more than half of 2020 tax year. And be a California resident on the date it's issued. This is great news for 750,000 people. Congratulations to everyone who's getting checks in the Golden State. And finally, the day we've all been looking for, at least families. 36 million families will start receiving payments today. Also, an important deadline that you can't miss. Literally, the deadline is tonight. So I want to cover that and what happens if you miss out on it. Millions of American families will receive their child tax credit payments this week. According to the IRS services, the fifth batch of advanced monthly payments worth $15 billion will reach about 36 million families across the country. The majority of the payments are being made via direct deposit on November 15th, with the rest coming out via paper checks, a process that could take a couple of weeks for you to get your payments if you're getting it through the mail. Under the American Rescue Plan signed in March, most eligible families will receive up to $300, as you know, per month for each child under 6, and up to $250 a month for each child over 6 to 17 years old. The remainder can be claimed you can actually claim it on your 2021 taxes or your 2022 taxes when you file them. The first checks were dated July 15th, followed by installments on August 13th, which we covered, September 15th, and October 15th. The final check, though, unless Congress opts to extend those payments, is set to expire. The last payment, we get it December 15th, and then, well, we'll see what Congress does. I know it's being pushed to be in this second bill that's coming down the pipeline that we're expecting to get done. So we'll see. They're talking about that maybe being done in December. We'll see what happens there. There is a deadline, though, today. Eligible people who filed their 2019 and 2020 taxes have received their payments. They'll receive them automatically. But low-income families who are not getting payments and have not filed the tax return still need to receive payments must sign up on irs.gov by 10:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on November 15th. That's today. There's a deadline today, basically 10:59 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you get on that. That should be basically 11. So it'll be 8 o'clock Pacific Time. So make sure you get on that. Families sign up now that have already signed up will normally receive their half of those stimulus checks by December 15th. Meaning a payment of up to $1,800 for each child age 6 and under, and up to $1,500 for each child 6 to 17. This is the same total amount that most families have received over the last 6 months, payments that began back in July. People, though, wishing to make a change to their child tax credit payment, including switching to direct deposit so you don't have to wait for a paper check, can do so by going to the Child Tax Credit Update portal. Yep, they have a portal just for you so that you can make the necessary changes you need to make so that you can get the check the way you want it. And if you get a direct deposit, you'll get it right away. You'll probably have it showing up in your account, which a lot of people, I'd love to hear in the comments below, will see that they've got their, it's pending in their account, which a lot of people have told me. Thank you guys so much for sharing those in the comment. The deadline for that change, though, is November 29th at 10:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, November 29th at 10:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. A motivational Monday. That was your stimulus check, second stimulus check, third stimulus check, fourth stimulus check, executive action and stimulus package update for November 15th, 2021. Please leave a comment with whatever you like about these videos and also maybe what you don't like. I'd love to see it in the comments. And each time you enter to win the $2,000 when we hit the 200,000 subscriber mark, and we're going to pick a random comment and launch out that $2,000. So what do you like about the videos, and what would you like to see different about the videos? I'd love to know in the comments, because if you've watched to the end here, you are my most valuable part of the audience. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you especially. Thank you for watching. I'm Andrew.